Hey guys, welcome back to Just Carve Rob. And what are we carving today, Rob? Well, we got this in here from Jordy Johnson over at Carving Fusion. It's for old grumpy concrete guy in Cricket. Jordy carved this. He sent it to me. Now I gotta carve something in here. Then I gotta send it to Amy Jo. So I think the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and clean up this surface a little bit. We'll take it over to the big 4.5-inch grinder with the cut saw disc. And we'll get all this cleaned up here so we can see what we got to work with. All right? All right. All right, Spike? All right. So let me go do that and I'll be right back. All right. So we're back. You can see we cleaned this up, kind of angled it like that. Got about the same distance on both sides, roughly. Let's see. Got our center line right here. You guys see that? Okay, so guess we're going to carve. We're going to keep in the... Jordan did a little deep digging there. Yee! I don't know. Pretty deep right there. Yeah, we'll work around it. We're going to drive that face back in anyway. Okay. Let's see. Do I have a marker in here? For sure. My favorite marker. Favorite black marker I use right here. These things are awesome. Now, let's draw that center line back in there. Maybe you guys can see it. Something like that there. And I think the width of our face is going to be something like this here. Just to have a rough estimate. We'll try doing the same over here on the other side. Oh, yeah. We go from there, put our finger on the line and go to there. Then we can turn it around and do the same thing. See, I was a little bit off. But then again, that's the story of my life. So that's going to be the width of our face. And the only problem I see here is that this side is on a little more of an angle. But, you know, we're going to drive this face in there. We got probably a good 3 inches of bark there to work with. Let's see. Turn around so you guys can see it. Yeah, 2.5 inches of bark to work with. So we got plenty of room to get in there. So I'm going to turn up the radio and get carving, and then we'll do the dreaded voiceover. All right? All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages. Here we go. Dreaded voiceover. We've got the V tool. Flex cut V tool, and we're just kind of framing out that face, as Kevin over at Sticks and Stones would say. Found a rough spot. We're going to continue on here, framing it in a little bit, and we're running about 2.5 times normal carving speed. Going to draw in the hairline, kind of like that. And we're not going to bring it to a point. So that's where our forehead is going to stop there. And we got another pencil. We're putting in the eyebrow line there, just kind of drawing it in. And we've got a U-gouge that came in the Flex Cut kit. It works very nice, very nice. Just kind of rough that in there. And okay, so if you go from the round of your head, which would be the top of your head, to your eyebrow line, and that should be the length of your nose, I think. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I did. And we'll end up, and it's always better to make your nose long. You can always shorten it up. If you make it short, guess what? It's short. Not much you can do with it. So I always tend to make the nose a little bit long and a little bit wide. And then once we work it in, we can do that. So we got that V tool. Just drew a line up alongside nose and decided, Rob, that's not the tool to be using for such a delicate operation as cutting in the nose. So we grabbed the yellow saber-tooth burr and a cone diamond burr, which I don't think I use, not yet anyway. And in the Oz Elite, we're going to put in that yellow, which is the medium grade or medium cutter, to put the nose in. Don't make the mistake I made here by once I get my nose cut in, I undercut the nose in the front right there. But then I remove, in my opinion, too much wood from under that nose. The nice thing about this burr, it is aggressive, but it's not super aggressive, okay? And we're just kind of tracing where we're going to put that forehead. We're going to thin out the temples and all that good stuff like that there. And when I undercut my nose, the bottom of the nose with this burr, I went too flat with it. I should have left it more puffy. Left more meat under the nose so my mustache wouldn't have been so flat up by the top. But it came out good. It came out okay. And we're just going to shape that nose a little bit. Shaping. And we're going to end up going deeper than this. We're just kind of cutting the corners where the eyes are going to be in deeper. And rounding the nose over. Because you don't have a flat nose, right? Put our center line back in. I love these markers. It's the only black marker I buy anymore is the Milwaukee black markers. Now we'll start setting where we're going to have the eyebrows at, that brow line. And working you can see I'm bringing the temple in on the forehead. And we're working that round. Cutting it in deeper and deeper. Rounding those, the sides of the face over. Still working those eyes down a little bit. Got the knife. I'm going to take off a little bit of... We don't use the knives that much in this video. So for my Dremel people, that's good news for you. And for my knife chisel carving people, well, there's very little in it. Okay, so there's that diamond burr. I like using that because it puts a round down on each side of the nose. So you don't have a sharp line there. Most of the time I'll use, on like basswood, I like using the chisels more on the nose and things like that. And now we're cutting the taper on the nose upward so we don't have a square nose. And this seems to be the hardest part for me, is keeping that nose in the middle of the face. And you can see right here, we can start shaping our eyes, the eye mounds. And we're bringing the side of the face down. Bring them temples down, flatten out that forehead a little bit, drive the top of the forehead back a little bit. Get rid of a little bit of that material between the eyebrows. And I must be searching for something. There we go. We got a round. This is a Dremel ball, steel ball. It's pretty well wore out. Not a big fan of the Dremel brand carving burrs. Although I've seen over at Wowzy's workshop, they are making I'm going to say a copycat of the They're more designed like the saber tooths, as being, it looks like it's a one-piece construction, whereas our cut saw are two-piece construction. It's like the head's pressed onto the 1/8 inch shaft for the cut saw, and we're just rounding those where your eyebrows are, rounding that over a little bit, trying to square them up, keep them the same size. And you can see I'm angling them back at almost a 45-degree angle there. And we're just doing a little cleanup with the knife, double checking trying to keep the wings of that nose, or the point of the nose, about even. And we're back in there cutting in the forehead deeper and working that in. And I'm still just trying to keep that eye line at the same level. So I don't want to have one eye, like an eyebrow, raised and the other one down. I'm just trying to keep them even. Like that. Around in the side of the face. So remember, the right side of the face drops off that side a lot quicker. I probably should have shifted the whole thing over. But you just got to deal with the bark you got, and that's what I did. It don't really matter. In the end, you'll see it all pulls together. Yeah, okay, I think we got the flares of the nose right where we want them. Now I'm just going to chase in that mustache. I really like this burr. So yeah, Dremel's came out with I hate to say copycat, but Sabertooth did have them first, and Typhoon, and I'm not all that well versed in my history of the pointy burrs. I know a long time ago I bought the Sabertooth burrs because they were the most aggressive I could find. And then once I started hanging out with Carving Fusion, he turned me on to the cut saw burrs. I wish cut saw made a teardrop burr like that one. And now we've got the more coarse, because the next most coarse is orange. This is the original green coarse of Sabertooth. And this is like a flame teardrop style, and it really gets rid of wood quick. The only bad thing about cottonwood bark is it's very dusty. Okay, so with that burr, I'm kind of putting a mouth hole in there, the old pie hole, getting that cut up in there, just like that. And I'm going to deepen that line to give me more of the mouth mound, give it more of a round effect, the barrel of the mouth. And now we're just going to go in and clip off a little bit of that point on each side of the nose. And we're cleaning up the nose, rounding the hard edges over with the knife there. And put our center line back in. Yep. Now we're going to put the nose flares, the snot hole flares, whatever you want to call them, right there. And I looked over and I seen that chisel, and it's like, hey, that's just about the shape I want. So I'm just going to plunge that straight in, give me nice round flares for the nose, for the nostrils. And then I took the knife and I said, well, why don't we just roll it right over there? And then there's no guessing, no by golly on that. So I did that, and now I got the V-tool. I did that side of the V-tool. Gonna clean it up with a knife. Same thing with the other side, clean that up with the knife. Because I forced that chisel in there, all I had to do was chase it around with the very end of the knife, and it popped that chip right out of there. It did. So now we got a diamond flame burr. And I'm going to go back and clean those up and undercut the side of the nostril flare there. And that's what we're doing. We're cleaning that up with that diamond burr. And we're doing the same thing with the other side. Get it all cleaned up. And feather that back. Take the hard edges off with the little diamond burr. And same thing, I'll get up there under the... I want to keep that eye line even. That's just me. That's what I like to do. Been watching Alec LaCasse, and learned a lot. That guy is... I learned a lot from him in his eye videos. He's got a series of small basswood videos on more of a realistic face. And as you can see, we have already started the eyeballs. Got one of them kind of done, and the other one is just roughly cut in. So we're going to be using the micro motors, one with a diamond burr. That one is like a little carbide drill bit, so I can go in and cut the corners in the eyes deeper. When you're making this face is not very big, 30-second shaft. When you get in there with a knife, got it from Amazon, you break the fibers of this bark and it makes a big chip out. And I didn't want that. They are cheap, so I'm just going to show you how I did that eye. They burn up pretty quick. This little diamond burr. I got the speed turned down to like cleaning it up, 12,000 RPM. This eye was put in with the same diamond burr. If you try running them up there higher, you got to turn it over, so we're undercutting that eye lid there. We're at full rounding over the ball, the actual eyeball itself. They plug up and they burn pretty quick. That thing going on there. Yep. So that's what we're doing here. We're just going to round that over. Micromotor, and that it's a one. So that's what it sounds like in my head when I'm making one of these videos and doing the voiceover. You got all this other stuff running through your brain at the same time. Yep. So sample of what's running through my brain when I'm making videos. Yep. And now we're cutting the hair in. I thought I had the camera running when I was doing the beard hairs, but it's a good thing I stopped and looked because I didn't have it going. I thought I hit the record button, but I guess I didn't. So we're just basically cutting in we've already cut in his beard hairs, and now we're cutting in his hairs on his head, making them swoop up towards Jordy's wood spirit, making it kind of like blowing that way. Yep. And just going over some of our beard hairs there, cutting them in deeper all the way down the face there. And you can see we're back to using that saber-tooth burr. Look at all the dust. Got our little brass brush. You're going to give them a little scrub-a-dub-dub, 3 minute a tub deal. And there we go. Got the sander out. Remember to turn your Dremel down so you don't burn your Dremel motor out. These they were never meant to run this is a 2-inch diameter dealy there with sanding mandrel with the some sandpaper I put on it, emery cloth that is, and I believe it is 220 grit. Got in there, and here we go with the brush again. We'll brush it up, and there you go. That's what he came out looking like. So let's take a closer look at him. And there we go. I zoomed in for you to get a better look at that face. And now I look down. I'm like, man, you forgot to cut the mustache hairs in. You didn't cut in the mustachio. So this is a cut burr. Got from Amazon. More of those 132nd shaft burrs. And it works really good for doing hair. Especially mustache hair where you're not going that deep or that heavy. but it's that cup shape is nice and sharp, so you can put in like deep spots in the mustache. So it works out pretty good. I'm going to change it out. I got a smaller, same thing, little cup burr, but it's smaller, so I can get it in up underneath that, tight to that nose. And then we'll go back and we'll take some spots and cut some deeper striations into it. And there you go. That's what we got going there. And we're going to give him some pupils so he can see where he's going. And that's it for this one, guys. Share, subscribe, like, be awesome, carve something awesome, carve every if you can. Be awesome, carve something awesome, and we will catch you guys on the next one. All right? All right. All right, Sean Brooks over at Pen on Fire. All right. All right, Jordy Johnson over at Carving Fusion. All right. All right, grumpy old concrete guy in Cricket. We got her done. Make sure we're signing it. Yep, we signed it, and we'll date it. And we'll put the finish on it, and then she'll be ready to go to the next person in this collaboration, Amy Jo, I believe, is where it is going next. So, that will be it for this one. Have a good week. Be kind to each other. And, yeah, have a good one. I'm running out of things to say. And as we wind down to the end of this video, I'd like to thank you for all the support over the years for the Just Carve Rob carving adventure on this YouTube channel. And say hi to some people. Timothy Reed and Ben over at Studio on the Lake. Kevin over at Sticks and Stones. Those guys have been missing in action for a while. And Amy Jo. Jordy Johnson at Carving Fusion. Spike. Evil Rick. And a lot of you guys that support the channel. I appreciate it. Once more, share, subscribe, like. Be awesome, carve something awesome, and we'll catch you on the next one.